Okay, so my name is Gladys Nimneh-Nyanti. I graduated from LaSalle 2018. I matriculated to Howard University, the illustrious Howard University. I graduated 2023, and I'm about to enter my master's program at American University for Education Policy and Leadership. My legacy at LaSalle, my nephew Kobe Moi. Shout out to you, Kobe. Okay, so I actually transferred to LaSalle when I was a junior. My first interaction, I think it was with ARC, definitely with ARC, Academic Resource Center. So I did that, and then we had I don't remember that, we didn't necessarily name it, but we had a really big thing that we did our year where we got to speak with teachers and pretty much educate teachers on just the struggles of the students of color in their school in LaSalle. That was really huge for me. I think that was a pivotal moment in my career of because I think sometimes it's a misconstrued conception that as Black people we just understand we understand the nuances and the struggles of everything, but we don't always, we're not a monolith. Everybody's story is different, and I think us having the ability to have those conversations with the teachers and letting them know all of our different experiences was really important. And other things that I did at LaSalle, I did academic decathlon. So Miss Dillon was a huge part of that. Of course, so there's this one, I don't want to talk about him too much, but Mr. Ciccone was definitely played a role in more so my confidence building. I feel I didn't know. First of all, I think I was a know-it-all kind of in high school, and Mr. Ciccone is really good at recentering people without making them feel bad or without shaming them. So I think we definitely had a lot of those interactions. Miss Dillon, like you said, I think we mentioned Miss Dillon already. Mr. Pereira, and Miss Jane Murphy, Miss Murphy, honestly, I think I feel an intellect, but Miss Murphy pushed that to the next level. Miss Murphy, especially if she saw the potential in you, she would push you harder and harder and harder. You can do more. And honestly, her class is the reason I even got into Howard. So, I really appreciate Miss Murphy. And then of course, Mr. O. You don't have to say much behind his name. You just say Mr. O, and I think people get it. Definitely. So we did as a part of something that we were trying to get started, and it kind of faltered. But as a part of SOCAN's, one of SOCAN's initiative was the HBCU panel at LaSalle, which was obviously a direct correlation and connection. We were able to have a bunch of different HBCU students come and speak on a panel and just speak about their experience. And I think because there was this fostered relationship between Mr. Ciccone and I specifically, where students could feel their voice was important, and we also wanted to make sure that everyone felt like they were a part of the community. I think that was what even helped make the panel a success. Additionally, some other successes, I would say education, me entering at the realm of education. I was initially a biology major, and I remember Mr. Cav always getting on me in philosophy. Philosophy was one of those classes that I really loved so much, and he was always getting on me I know you're going to be a neurosurgeon, but if you've ever thought about going into the field of education, think about it a little bit more. And I was always we're always told young, you can't be a teacher. Teachers don't make any money. And so that's kind of what I went off of. And then I did a fellowship. And then I messaged Mr. Cav that summer, Mr. Cav, I think I'm interested in being a teacher. And he was well, I hope you do it. And here I am. So I currently work at Alice West Fleet in Arlington, Virginia, a part of Arlington Public Schools. I'm a 5th grade literacy and social studies teacher. So my day-to-day looks like coming in and talking to 10 and 11-year-olds from about 9 to 3. Some of my duties, I think oftentimes when we hear teacher, we just think they teach us about school stuff and that's it. A large part of my teaching philosophy is teaching students that they're more than just students, they're humans first. And so a large part of what we do in the class is SEL, so social emotional learning, and ensuring that students have confidence in themselves. They know how to act as respectful human beings. They understand loyalty, and just overall just fostering a student to grow up to be a better adult. I lesson plan and do the daily, the daily things that you would assume teachers do: lesson planning, meetings. But other than that, the role is pretty simple and self-explanatory. Oh, simple in terms of explaining it, I'd say, not in terms of what is actually being done. I would say, for one, having those few teachers that really pushed me, like Mr. Cav really pushed my thinking beyond just like simple thinking. Like, he had us reading Socrates and all these profound philosophers, and I honestly think Mr. Cav was a profound philosopher himself. But just having a teacher that actually cared about us, aside from just teaching us curriculum and aside from just teaching us standards, was really important for me. So Miss Dillon was always finding a way to work with us. Like, I'm saying, students that were on the brink of, you're not walking at graduation this year, Miss Dillon would make sure, she would go through everything to make sure that you were able to do what you needed to do. And then also, like, having Mr. O. There weren't many teachers that looked like me at LaSalle, and so having somebody like that, Mr. O, not only did he look like me, but we had like ethnicities kind of pretty close. He's from Nigeria, I'm from Liberia, so we connected off of that immediately. And I think also the teachers that weren't necessarily always the best, that was all. And I'm remiss for forgetting Mr. De Silva. Mr. De Silva was also a huge part of it. Religion, I never found religion interesting until I took Mr. De Silva's class. In every class, I was like, me. So just having those teachers that really did what they had to do and impacted you, but then also the teachers that were kind of, maybe a little bit negative, that you didn't necessarily align with. I think that was important for me. I wanted to be the teacher that, the students that were popular and that everybody loved would come talk to, and then also the students that, I don't feel like I have a place in this school would also come and talk to. And obviously I'm still a work in progress, but I think I fostered some of that. For a young woman, definitely don't be scared to do the things that you want to do. I think people, especially as girls at LaSalle, it's almost like, again, another pressure. Like, you're in high school. Let's be frank, you're in high school. Not only are you thinking about the boys, but you're also thinking about, does my hair look good? Are my nails cute? Are my shoes cute? If I go to the football game, I remember thinking about that. Going to the football game, like, where am I gonna sit? I don't want to be embarrassed or anything. And just put yourself out there, just do stuff. Don't be afraid to do things. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. That goes for everybody. Speak up for yourself. Advocate for yourself, advocate for others. For students of color, don't stop fighting. That's it. No matter who presses you, who upsets you, keep the fight. Because LaSalle I can promise you, LaSalle is not the end-all be-all for social justice or for inclusion school. Like, no. You get to Howard, there are other issues on Howard's campus. It's an HBCU. What issues could there be? You're dealing with now even more complex issues. Colorism, texturism, featureism, elitism. LaSalle, I feel like it was kind of not expected, but let's be frank, expected. We're going to private school. You're paying for the school. Obviously, most of the people that go here are well off. Howard, you got I personally had never met anybody that, any black people that were like just loaded. And I got to Howard and I was like, whoa, everyone here has money. Everyone is holding the latest Neverfull. That was such a strange concept to me. And I think if I just didn't have the confidence in myself, but also like the fight within me, I probably would have fallen to the wayside and not done anything in college and just been a scary cat from LaSalle. But again, having that confidence at LaSalle, I honestly, I never thought I would rep my high school so much, but like, I'm just elated and like just really happy with the fact that I was able to attend LaSalle. That's an opportunity that not everybody gets, not everybody in my community got. And so just being able to do that was awesome. And I think to me, being a LaSallian is just, like you said, serving, service. It's not necessarily having just attended LaSalle. I know LaSallians that did not go to LaSalle Academy. People that just cared about people just because they were people. Especially teachers that went out of their way to do the absolute most for their kids, knowing good and well they're getting paid. Their check this week is going to be $50. Just being a good person is what a LaSallian is to me. And I think that goes without saying. If you know any LaSallians, you know that they're just good people. Their hearts are just clear. They just are open for anybody. Take me as I am. Nothing else. All I hope is that LaSalle just keeps up the great work and keeps on focusing on the latest alum. I think that's really important, because I feel like we're oftentimes forgotten about, but we're like probably the biggest voice, especially in this day and age. We have access to all the social media and networks and all this stuff. I feel like if we can keep young alum invested and like in the community, that could also change so much more for the future generations.